What's going on, everyone? It's Jerry with CaptureCraft. I am Jerry. This is CaptureCraft. We talk about photography. Welcome back. Welcome to you if you're new. Welcome back if you've watched an episode or two. There's only a few out there. But if you watched them, welcome back. It's good to have you. The reason that I'm making them is you guys and gals and everybody. All right, if you got it on for your pup, for them as well. So how is everybody doing? Doing good? Doing great? Feeling all right? Feeling hopeful? Feeling down? You know, we got some feelings going on right now. It's fall time here. And the weather change and all that stuff usually gets stuff stirring up. It gets dark quicker. Get bummed out maybe sometimes if you're not a big fall fan. But if you're a fall fan, you get all worked up and excited. You know, it's crisp out there. The leaves are changing. It's a good time to get out and practice some good old-fashioned photo fundamentals, right? Grab yourself a friend, you grab yourself a pet, you walk around, you find some trees that are changing, and you practice all the stuff that you learned up until this point. And what do you get? You get a beautiful seasonal picture. 1. 2, you can give that friend that came out with you a gift of that picture. And 3, just like that, they have holiday cards. Man, foreshadowing into a little bit of the hustle. Nah, you know, maybe not the hustle. You know, it's cool to shoot holiday pics for your friends. It's cool to shoot holiday pics and, you know, make $1 or $2 off of it. You know, so just an idea, planting the seed. You get out this year, you practice, you do some snaps, you do some gratis work. And then next year, all your friends will see those holiday cards and be like, oh, snap, who shot those? They'll be like, oh, yeah, I shot them. Next thing you know, you're raking in the dough. You did Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating, and it didn't cost you $1 because your hobby, your love, your passion of photography pay the bills, right? Anyhow, enough jibber jabber. Let's hop into today's episode. So, last time we talked about what? Hard light, specifically hard artificial light. And I took a trip down to my friend and my mentor studio, Mr. Mad Dog, and we set up one light and we took some photos. And again, if you like those photos, you like that look, that treatment, that preset, sometimes people call it, down below in the comments, there's a link to a Dropbox. That preset is in there. It's free. You don't have to put any emails. You don't have to put anything. You can get it. You can plug it in. You can use it. It's yours. My gift to you. That's cool, right? Right. But before we go any further, you can do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Helps out the channel, helps out me. Let me know that you're watching. And I do appreciate it, you know? That's part of the fun. The fun of the thing is knowing that people out there are getting a little something out of it. But anyhow, so we talked to Mad Dog. We shot some pics. We used a one light setup, which we're going to continue to use for this. But instead of hard light, artificial hard light, we're talking about artificial soft light. So all those scenarios that we put Mr. Mad Dog in, split lighting, Rembrandt lighting, backlighting, we threw a kicker on them. We did all these things, loop lighting. We did a few different scenarios. All of those things still apply when it comes to soft light. And the key thing, if I stop right here, the key thing you should know about hard light to soft light is this. Hard light is sharp shadows, you know, really quick contrast transitions from light to dark. And soft light is gonna have really gentle, I was gonna say soft, but I don't wanna say soft too many times, really gentle gradient transitions from the lighter side to the darker side of the image. You might not even see any shadows at all. That's pretty much soft light in a nutshell, right? Right, so let's dive in to some comparisons between hard light and soft light. So for this, we're gonna be using a cone, an umbrella, and a light source. And this light source is a GVM fixture. It's an 80-watt light. I'm not sponsored, obviously, only have 111 followers, but that's neither here nor there. The reason I chose this setup, I got a ton of lights, and a ton of modifiers that I take out when I do anything. But I chose this because these are some of the first things that I purchased when I started. And it's likely something that anyone would get when they first start flirting with the ideas of, I want to use artificial light. They're going to start looking around, and you're not so sure that you want to commit to, $1,000 light fixture or a $500 light fixture. But these little guys were cheap and affordable, and they still come in handy today. If I need a little kicker light, if I'm filming something, or if I need something to light up the background, or just add a little pizzazz into a scene, if I'm doing something bigger, sometimes these little lights stuck in a hole or stuck behind a couch or on a stand above something comes in handy. So not necessarily useless per se, but they were my first lights, and it's probably something that a lot of us will start off with. So I only did 3 different lighting positions with this because we showed a bunch more when we went down to visit Mad Dog. All of those apply to this, no matter if it's hard light directly off of the light itself, or if we have a diffusion in front of it. The results are going to be, for the most part, the same, but the quality of light, the shadows, how it's going to roll off is going to be a little bit different. So let's take a look at it. So the hardest of all the ones we're going to have here, it's going to be the cone. It's going to have the light focused as tight as we can get it with what we have. Second, we look at the bare bulb, and it's going to be kind of a middle ground. It's going to have somewhat sharp edges, but still a little bit less than the focused light with the cone, but not as soft as the umbrella, right? Why? Why does the cone make it so much harder? So to make light softer, you want to make the light source bigger. So with the cone narrows the light source down as tight as we can get it with what we have on hand right now. You can make it tighter with other things, but for this, the cone is going to narrow it down to just a little more focused beam of light coming out. So it's nice and tight and not a lot of light spilling anywhere else. It's just kind of going where you want it. Okay, so then you get the bare element, you take the cone off of it, and that light gets to spread a little bit more. So it gives you kind of an in the middle, in between of the cone and an umbrella. It's not as hard as the cone in directed light, but it's not as soft as the umbrella itself either. So we look at all 3 of these, and it's clear to say that cone, hardest, bare bulb, second, hardest light, and third, the umbrella is the nice, soft, gentle roll off. So let's say we're in a scenario and we have our light, we brought it out, but we forgot to bring our umbrella, or we don't have any way to put diffusion in between our light and our subject. So take a look at this shot. This shot is just the light, the bare bulb, and I'm bouncing it off the ceiling here in my little studio area where I record. And look at that. Look how soft this light is. It's softer even than with the umbrella, right? So we made this light source big, big, big. It's almost as big as a spot that is hidden on the ceiling, and it's blanketing the whole room. So some of the key takeaways, right? So the cone is going to be the hardest light. It's also going to be the most intense light. And then if you take the cone off, you put your umbrella in front of it, it's going to be the softest light, the more diffused light. But between going from the cone with the light being focused and then the umbrella with all the modifiers that we have here, not counting the ceiling, you're going to lose some stops of light, right? You're going to lose some of the brightness. It's going to look a lot dimmer to your eye and to the camera when you go from a cone to a modifier like an umbrella. So in this case, we want to remember to use our exposure triangle and what we're going for. If we're shooting portraits, it's not a big deal for the most part to adjust the shutter speed a little bit slower. Why? Our subject isn't going anywhere. They're sitting there, they're going to sit still, you're going to take a picture of them. But if you're shooting portraits of like a little one, like a baby or something that's kind of wiggling around or fidgeting or active, you may not want to sacrifice shutter speed and get a blurry image from that. You may want to keep it a little bit quicker So you can come up with your f-stop, open up that iris a little bit, or you turn up your ISO so it's more sensitive to the light that's already in the room, and it's going to perceive it as being brighter, right? Like turning up the gain on a mixer or whatever. You turn up the settings so the things that's coming in is louder, right? Brighter, right? I almost got away without making a music reference, but it's in my nature being a DJ and a drummer and just performing. A lot of references always come back to music. So, anyhow, that's pretty much the breakdown on all of these. I'll put a link in the description below. We can go back and take a look at Mad Dog and some of the lighting set up at different angles. And I will also try to find something to throw up to kind of show you where I place the lights to get those results. So you can kind of know where you want to position your lights to get the different, like Rembrandt or loop lighting or things like that, you know? Anyhow, back to me in the studio. Single light setups with a hard light, and we walked through a few with Mrs. Legless to kind of compare hard light and soft light. And those single light kind of key fundamental setups are, useful across the board. Whether you're doing a single hard light, a single soft light, whether you're doing a single light with a diffuser that you bought or that you made, or however you're getting into it. But those are great things to kind of start off with to see how you can manipulate light and move things around to get different effects, different moods, different results. And it's good to start with just one thing and then build upon that. So, anyhow, that's pretty much the episode, right? Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully it wasn't convoluted. Hopefully it made sense. Soft light, gradual transition, hard light, hard edge shadows. All the different lighting scenarios that we showed as far as like from Rembrandt to split lighting, all that stuff, kind of universal. The universal language around that and universal technique can be applied to any single light setup, and something new that you got to add or you can add to your arsenal now, right? So, anyhow, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. Tell your friends I said hi. Bring them on in next time you're watching, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.